According to StatsCan, our population has declined for the third consecutive quarter. Q2 of 2026, our population dropped 55,000 to 41.4 million, and we're down 235,000 from the peak in Q3 of 2025. So, hey, there's no surprise here. We're actually in the negative territory. And we all know the reason behind it. It's because government has finally shut the taps on immigration. They've been to the whims of the people. Now it's nothing. And then our population is dropped, which kind of shows they were relying on new immigrants to prop up our GDP, to prop up our productivity.
Welcome to the Canadian Mortgage Show. Here are mortgage professionals, Pang and Alex Shanks, to cut through the BS and educate Canadians on all things mortgages and real estate.
Welcome to episode 93 of the Canadian Mortgage Show. Alex Pang here alongside Alex Shanks. Alex, you're looking a little bit younger these days.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it younger Alex Shanks? I mean, as everyone can see, I did do on the video side. I did shave a little bit, and it does. And I mean, we've joked about this. If I shaved, you guys would probably all think I'm a little kid. So it's I don't know if I'm gonna become clean shaven like Alex Pang.
Well, the reason why I'm clean shaven is I can't grow anything. The most I've grown is all these whiskers. Yeah, that can't even nothing here. It's all peach fuzz. I've gotten a Fu Manchu before, but yeah, it looks pretty nasty.
Yeah, I mean, my hair is getting long. I mean, it is turning into a bit of a flowy mullet, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's honestly, I might even be able to sit without a hat on here. Actually, it's not even that bad.
Well, you're definitely getting the hockey hair. Now, folks, I forgot. I got to mention this before we begin. We got to make sure to hit that follow and subscribe button on YouTube and Spotify. We're at 134 on YouTube and closing in on 400 on Spotify. We're at 387. Help us grow the community and get us to 1,000 on both platforms.
Maybe we'll say this. Maybe I don't cut my hair until we hit 1,000.
Wow, that might take a while. Okay, folks.
Oh no, everyone will do it. They'll jump on it right away because they're gonna not like the hair.
Yeah, let's do this. Hey, did you watch the game yesterday?
I didn't get to watch it. I know I had a lot of actual friends get to go to it live and everything. And very, very jealous that way. I actually talked to a cop that came from the island, went there just to be part of it, like was helping the forces, and he said it was amazing. Everyone in Vancouver was so awesome, which is, I mean, I always get scary vibes of Vancouver of, are we going to all revert to what happened to the Canucks? But everyone was just awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, my wife is not into big crowds, so I tried to convince her, like, honey, can we at least go to a bar just so that, just to get some crowd, just sharing the excitement. So I convinced her to go to King Taps in Langley and Willowbrook there, and man, it was amazing. Got drinks and food, and we Ubered it there because I didn't want to drive back. So we drank responsibly there, and hey, we won 6-0. Could you
Something, our first win in World Cup history.
Yeah, I was like, like the whole game went like, geez, they had a red card right away. They had 2 red cards, so they were down 10 at down to 10 men at the 17-minute mark. And then they had another red card there. Like one of our players got his leg broken.
Yeah, I think didn't Canada lose a couple players, which kind of sucks. I mean, they won, but I think a few people got injured.
Yeah, I think it's just the one player, Ismail Kone. And at the time when he went down, it didn't look that bad. But on TV, they didn't show us the replay. And so he was stretchered off, and he actually had his tibia and fibula broken. So he's out of the tournament. He already had surgery, and he's going to be out 4 to 6 months. So, I mean, that was really bad. I mean, the guy who came in to sub in for him, he scored on a free kick soon afterwards. But I have a funny story I want to share with you. I actually got permission from my buddy about this before sharing this. So
I feel like our banter is going to go long because I also want to talk about the Scots in Boston. So our banter is going to go longer here, people.
Okay. Yeah. So the intro is going to go longer, folks. So we're going to, we're all hyped up for the World Cup with Canada and stuff like that. And hey, 6-0. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm part of this Canucks group chat, but we're all sports fans. My son's part of it as well. He put in a score prediction of 2-1 Canada. I was a little bit more bold. I'm like, no, I think if we play like the way we play against this Bosnia on the second half, and we play aggressive and we attack, we should beat them. I'm going to say 3-0. I'm going to name him now, my friend Andrew. He said, I'm going to quote this: if they score 3, which they have never done, I'll run naked through the streets. All right. When it was 2-0, everyone was on the chat. Get ready, Andrew. It's coming. And then once we hit 3-0, the chat went quiet and everyone told them to pay up. They're like, hey, got to do it. So I'm going to get our producer to throw this on the video side. Do you know that Homer Simpson GIF, that meme that's going around where he kind of slowly
Backing
goes
up.
into the bush quietly? So he put that up on the chat. I'm like, that was perfect for him. He
Yeah.
totally disappeared.
Yeah.
But he later said, you know what? I need a few beers. And another thing was, it was supposed to be a metaphor.
Yeah.
And so everyone's like, metaphor my ass. Let's see those legs. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No back
Yeah.
out now. So you know what? Good on him, Andrew. He later honored his word and he showed us a picture. We're going to throw it up. We got his permission. And I did blur out his nether regions there. He didn't go full naked because we don't want him arrested, right?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't want him arrested, but hey, I mean, still, he went out there. I mean, that's good on him for actually doing what he said.
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. But you know what? All things considered, he looks like just some regular guy in downtown exercise.
He looks like a regular runner guy, and hey, he's a pretty fit guy. It's he might have got some people looking at him on the streets.
Exactly. But that I showed my wife the banter on the chat group and she just couldn't stop cracking up. But Andrew, thanks for the permission. We're gonna give you a shout out on that. Good on you for owning up and paying up as someone who made that bet. So what's
Yeah.
your story about Scotland?
Well, I just mean, have you been seeing the stuff on? I just like it's just so fun watching, and again, like just World Cup, all the info. Like, I mean, like the Scots have pretty much overtaken Boston right now. Like they're just everywhere. They went like I think 20,000 of them or something were at like a Red Sox game. They're all cheering. I mean, it just like it looks so much fun. I mean, I find like the UK people for their sports, like they do it so much better than we do. Like they're all in. They got chants for all the teams and stuff, and it's everyone's just having a good time. I'm like jealous. I'm like, oh, I want to be part of that.
Yeah, and I saw some videos too. I believe is it the Dutch? They're playing in Houston, and so they're in the city for a while, so they're looking for things to do. They attended was it a cowboy event or some sort of stampede or something where these cowboys whatever where they lassoing the bulls running around and they've never seen it before, so they're
I
like
mean,
having a
it's just
good
kind of
time.
cool. I mean, everyone is seeing like other parts of like North America pretty much. And it's like, I mean, the news always puts just a horrible limelight on US, especially right now, because there is someone and hey, we don't like them, but like there's just been negative news on the US. And it's like, it's fun to see people actually enjoying, be like, wow, there's actually some awesome stuff here to do in US.
Yeah, exactly. And especially us being in the West Coast, Vancouver is being highlighted really well amongst the World Cup. Like the views are amazing. Like all the if you're watching TSN on the backdrop with those they're doing their little panel, it's the backdrop of North Van and English Bay, which is amazing. They wrapped up Science World for Adidas soccer ball there, which was amazing there. I actually went to lunch in Yaletown today and saw it's quite, Yaletown, all the breweries and the restaurants were showing the game on TV loud, and we saw some fans from several countries there watching, and man, it's a great atmosphere. So you know what? Who knew that world peace can happen during the World Cup, right? All politics aside, there's fans, everyone enjoying the game, and humanity wins out at the rest of the day. So you know what, Alex, we better get started. You want to lead us off?
We better get up. And I mean, you got notes in here, especially on this one. And I mean, honestly, yesterday, this was the news that US and Iran sign an agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. War is over, everything. And I mean, bonds have been going down, but I mean, I got news early this morning. Trump's Iran deal is off to a chaotic start. They're saying that, hey, we actually don't agree on some of these things. And it just, again, I do believe it is going to happen. But again, it's just bumpy. And that's where the bonds didn't react. They didn't go up or anything. They've just kind of been staying steady. Fuel prices, I mean, what's fuel in Vancouver right now there, Alex?
Oh yeah, it's dropped down to about $1.89, $1.09.
Yeah, so we're $1.85. So I mean, hey, woohoo, we got some lower fuel prices finally. But again, it's we need this continuous to happen. We need the strait to actually open up. And it's going to take 7 to 10 months for those costs even to start filtering through.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, with any market volatility, people don't like doing anything. There's fear when there's uncertainty. So, I mean, this is coming more to fruition now. The war appears to be over. There's a ceasefire, a 60-day ceasefire, I believe, while they work out. There's like a 14-point MOU, I believe. with, trade and what's going on. Um, I mean, we all know that variable is going to stay the same too. Bond yields have come down, but I think some fixed rates have gone down, but not quite yet. You're right.
I
They're
mean, it's
probably going
funny,
to
they've gone down. Like, I even had people closing, they're like, and I had rate holds for them at like 3.99. They're like, Alex, I heard bonds are going down. Are our rates going lower? It's like, hey, I can trade you to the 4.34 if you rather have that rate. But like bonds have come down from like the 4.5% rate. But they've come down, but not from the highs that they were at.
Yeah, it might take, geez, it might take several weeks or a month or so before it's back down to before the Iran war started. I would say, like, in February and such. But remember, I was telling you about the whole inflationary pressure of this external force. The Iran war is halting Bank of Canada from doing something. I mean, it's not going to happen right away. Now we're leading into summer. Nothing really happens this summer. My thinking, like, I don't have the stats to back up, but just, my feeling is that if we're going to have the rate cut talk, it'll probably be in the fall, in September, October, or whatever, like as
I,
things kind
I'm
of
still I'm still
unfold.
on the lines that there is no rate cuts coming out. Even if this open up, the fuel starts flowing again. I mean, we got the, I think, inflated job numbers, but again, at the moment, other than obviously it'd be nice for people buying real estate, business owners. I don't know if it still makes sense to cut. It's not going to make a detrimental effect here yet. And if they cut too soon, I think them waiting till 2027 would be the better play right now. Again, next month, maybe we get data that unemployment's horrible. And so it's going to change every time.
Yeah, I mean, the unemployment going down probably won't really come out till after the World Cup. So my guess is probably like August, September, which kind of leads us into fall anyway. So I mean, hey, I would like rates to come down just for our industry. But even if it stays the same, then geez, then so be it. If it's going to be flat for a while, then we're okay with that too. At least there's some stability in the market. Now, hey, yesterday this got announced. Carney was in town to watch Canada and Qatar, and if you've
Yep.
seen him on TV and on socials, he was also addressing the team after the game. With like how we performed and everything like that. But he was also here on business, and so before he attended the game, him, Gregor Robertson, and Premier David Eby here, they made an announcement. Everything that we thought of, like when they announced a bailout for the Ontario pre-con development, the condos, they're doing that here in BC, but not in the exact same way, Alex. Basically, the federal and BC governments are launching a new partnership on condo conversion. Now, they're going to buy and convert more than 2,200 unsold vacant condo units in BC.
I mean, we talked about it probably been 6 months ago. I remember talking about this. And that is this is a bailout for the builders, the developers, like that is what it is. And again, could this maybe be a good thing? Maybe if the government actually does this properly, built like good purpose-built rentals. But I mean, for some people, I don't know if they know, in like downtown Vancouver, BC Housing has like bought actual apartment buildings for homeless and people that have addiction issue. It did not go well. And that is my fear of what is going to go on here. This is actually going to be set up properly at all.
Yeah, I mean, we hear this on social. This is kind of like socialism interfering with capitalism, right? Because when things are going well in a bull market, hey, all the private companies are going to keep the profits. But when there's losses to be had, like mass losses, now all of a sudden the government steps in and now socializes the losses. Now it's spread out amongst governments and essentially us taxpayers. So yeah, I mean, geez, it's like we're trying to guess which developers are being bailed out. I'm pretty sure West Bank is one of the big ones of the small to medium developers. But yeah, it is what it is. I feel for the rest of the country, other than folks outside of BC and Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and then the Atlantic provinces. The cost of these bailouts for BC and Ontario is being funded by the rest of Canada, like everybody, like through our tax dollars. So can't be happy. You can't be happy with from the rest of the country about that. So I mean, I'm going to read more further stuff. I mean, they're basically allocating $5 billion to BC's infrastructure. There's going to be 3.2 billion to help lower development charges for multi-unit housing by up to 50%. So it's saving people 40 grand. So, I mean, Alex, we talked about, hey, remember CMHC had this thing, like lowering development charges isn't going to really help affordability. I'm like, Well, if you drop it by 40 grand, I mean, it could go a long way. It might not bring it back to 2004 levels, but it'll improve a long way, right? So now other things like there's going to be more than 600 million over 3 years, matched by BC to a total of 1.2 billion to help modernize and expand health infrastructure like hospitals, emergency rooms, urgent care centers, and other critical facilities. Up to 50 million over 5 years to support community infrastructure projects in communities like Terrace and Prince Rupert. A one-time transfer payment of 284 million to help BC reduce barriers to new construction. Um, Another one here, they're going to invest 2.5 billion over 10 years to build new transit projects, as well as infuse more money into the Surrey Langley SkyTrain extension.
Yep.
But they're going to help build new infrastructure in Tumbler Ridge. Can you educate me? I'm not sure where Tumbler Ridge is in BC.
I mean, that's where that the gun shooting happened at the school. That's
Oh,
they're
I see.
doing under on the news that way. And so, I mean, it's obviously they need some more better how like school infrastructure and everything. And I mean, it's just kind of getting some limelight probably because of the school shooting that way is my guess there.
Yeah, so they're going to do some basically rebuilding the school and renovations to the local health center. So the feds and provincial government each kicking in 100 million for
Yeah.
construction, which is going to start as early as this summer, and it's going to include removing of the old school there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, for the most part of it, I mean, what are your thoughts? Like everything other than buying the unsold vacant condo units, I can get behind.
Yeah. And and again, I mean, hey, like it's all the stuff we want to benefit. And I mean, is it going to give like 284 million to BC to reduce barriers to new construction? I mean, have we not just been throwing more money at like the our municipalities and stuff and it's not doing anything? I mean, I'd rather say, hey, anyone that's a first time home buyer, hey, we have a pool of 284 million. We're going to help you with your minimum with your first down payment. Like that would probably be more beneficial than them just giving it to the BC government.
Yeah, and then what is it going to end up being? It's going to line pockets of corrupt officials and
It's yeah,
who
it's
makes
I don't I would put a lot of money on it that it's not going to increase it. Maybe they'll build some more purpose-built rentals like that. That may happen, but again, they're already doing that just by buying these unsold condos.
yeah, and then have social housing. I remember like a couple weeks back, this is going around in socials about the whole Sinakwa building. I'm not sure where that is. Isn't it Squamish or somewhere downtown? And some people were showing what the rental prices are, low income housing. It's like a 350 square feet hotel room renting for what? How much was it? 2,200 a month or something like that? Some crazy
Crazy.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a two-bedroom, 650 square feet, so, renting for 4,700. And it's like, well, this is low income housing. I'm like, hot dang, this ain't low income housing. This is like highway robbery.
Oh, it's insane. And I mean, again, we have some places actually where I live, and you can get like again, they were financed through what's called CMHC MLI Select. If you bring it in under low income housing, it doesn't really work in Vancouver because the cost of land is too high when you do it. But if your rents are below, and so you have to submit how much you make for income and everything. But it actually is decent. You can get a 3-bedroom condo for $1,500, and it's like, hey, it's a great way if you're single, you need to get into a place, save up some money, and then go buy something else. Like that's where I find it powerful.
Mhm.
Now, this is, I mean, I don't know if this is an actual, we already knew this was, but according to the report by the University of Oxford, social media surpasses TV news as the dominant news source in Canada. Rise of TikTok and Instagram from COVID. Our podcast is one where we're dominating the news. But again, it's like it's YouTube, it's everything. This is all stuff that has been happening.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the way people operate now, we don't really go out of our way to watch news anymore. I mean, I'm sure like the older folks, like my parents, they still watch the 6 o'clock news, 11 o'clock news, and everything like that. But I think more and more of us now we get our news through social media.
I don't pay for TV. I just
Yeah.
have we just have our apps and everything. And I mean, probably the only time I actually watched some news was during the Olympics because I was watching it on CBC Gem. That was probably the only time I actually saw news.
Yeah, and the only time I really tuned in the news was back during COVID, during like because I was looking at the COVID numbers and all that stuff. Now we're on social. If it's that important, someone's gonna share it, and
Yeah.
we'll find out some way or another. Someone's going to talk about something, and then people are going to share the links and all that stuff, and so we'll find out one way or another. Same thing with the sporting events. If you haven't, depending on like what you search and all that stuff and the algorithms, if you don't know about what happened in the game, you'll find out about it through social media. Like if you didn't watch the game, there's enough of people in your circle have either watched the game or attended some event or attended live that it'll come up on your feed. So you'll find out one way or another. So if anything, this is kind of like this kind of confirms the sign of the times, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I mean, you could see like all the news channels are now on TikTok and all that stuff, and they're posting things that way. And again, I don't know if that's good. I mean, we talked about it last episode. I mean, social media and just our phones, like it's the devil we kind of have, but like it's not good things. It's, I mean, again, the news most of the time is just putting out negative things. I would love if the news would also put out some pros, be like, hey, this is what happened good today. Now we're going to talk about the bad stuff going on in the world. But like, we just don't talk about anything good, it seems like.
I think if anything, social media has actually done some good, especially with the World Cup going on. Uh,
Well, I mean, the news from that, like it's fun and exciting. I mean, they're like there's good that way. But again, as we talked about last time, like you have to look at your phone. Like you're always looking at it. I mean, obviously it'd be really hard. Maybe I'd have family in Boston. They would call me and be like, "Oh my God, this is what the Scots are doing here." Like again, it's just so easy to get it, which I love, but it there's pros and cons to it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, like, I think I mentioned it a week or two ago about, hey, the Mexican fans and the Korean fans are having a love-in with each other because Korea helped eliminate or beat Germany in the 2018 World Cup, which helped Mexico qualify to the next round. And because of that, Mexico always has a soft spot for Korea. And there's Korean fans that are visiting Mexico right now to watch. And then there's this huge love fest where guys were kissing girls and all that stuff that were happening, and the Koreans were being celebrated in Mexico. But hey, if it takes a World Cup, like a sporting event, to bring people together, to bring world peace, so be it. The news won't cover it, but it's all over social,
Oh,
and
exactly.
it's great. It's great. It's great on that, right? Speaking of social media and media in general, I don't know if you've seen the headlines, but I mean, mainstream media has kind of buried this, but there's kind of the three bills that the government is trying to, rush through parliament, rush through into legislation right now. So I mean, each of them might sound reasonable on their own. So like things like protecting kids online, modernizing privacy, helping police catch criminals. But you know what? Buried behind this emerging digital regulatory superpower, it's like anything Canadians have never seen before. It's almost like we're giving too much power to like the government to be able to see what we do and all that stuff. And I understand, we want to catch cyber criminals, but don't we need to have like stiffer laws if we do catch them, that they actually, like go to prison, not
Doing it.
prosecuted? Yeah, exactly.
I want my kids protected. We don't want that. But I mean, I bring it back to like there's a game called Roblox, and I mean, there's predators, and the US and everyone knows it. China instantly, as soon as they found about it, banned instantly. You're not allowed to play Roblox anymore. It's taken away. It's like, well, why aren't we doing those things? Like, we're just making it so like, you know what, it can still happen. But we're gonna be the ones that try and enforce it, which again is that oversight needed by them. I also should be protecting my kids myself as well.
Yeah. And just like you said, do we need the government to be able to like go in and see? It's like, yeah, we have 40 million people in the country, and most people are, I like to say, they're good. Sure, there are criminals that you'll catch, but like you need to have like stiffer laws on the back end. Once you catch them, you need to be able to prosecute them and they go to prison and all that stuff. So I mean, this one is trying to being rushed through with much proper debate. I mean, I'll read these bills out. I mean, the C-34 bill is social media ban for kids. I think it's for kids 16 and under.
And
Enter
I mean, I'd be fine with that. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be fine that it's like, hey, you can, if you're younger than 16, you can't go on social media. Like I personally I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, you know what? And we've talked about this, how social media, especially for teenagers, has made them more unhappy, higher depression rates, more suicides, because of this comparison culture about like, oh, hey, and because their minds aren't developed yet. They believe everything that they see, like, hey, this influencer has an amazing lifestyle. They're on a private jet. And I'm like, you know what? That's probably fake. Probably someone just snuck into somewhere and just took a picture and pretended it was theirs, kind of thing, right? And all that stuff. Like things like AI chatbot rules. harmful content takedowns, all that stuff. Hey, we agree with that. C36, privacy control over private data held on Canadians and strips the independent privacy commissioner. And then C22 is surveillance. Like, so they'll be able to look through 1 year of metadata retention. So, and a lower bar for police to pull your ID. So maybe like everything that you've ever said on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything. Like, I'm sure this
I
is
thought they pretty much. I thought they already had access to that. Like that
yeah.
again. Like
So,
again,
and I know
I'm fine with that. Like again, if you push something online, you should face the consequences on it. You shouldn't like that. Again, I'm fine with that.
well, I mean, Trump in the States there've been people that been in prison for up to a year for saying something online about Trump. Like
Yes, I
they
mean,
should go
yeah,
as
well, we're
far as
talking
that
about yeah, we're talking about, but I'm saying that hey, if you talk about I'm gonna kill this person or
yes.
like those are things, and that's again, it's such a fine line of how where do you put the line, and that's where it's like again, hey, if it's to do with a court case, well, they should probably be able to have access to it. But if it's just because they want to search up like, ooh, what did Alex Pang do? No, I believe they should have to go to the court, say, hey, I need this information because Alex Payne was in a domestic violence case. I'm sorry, people, like that was a horrible explanation here for Alex on this, but like that's where I think they would have to go to court for it.
Yeah, I think it is definitely a fine line between censorship and you know, like there's a free speech slash censorship kind of thing, you know, like so yeah. I mean, there needs to be more like and there's other countries across the world that are instituting these kind of digital regulatory authorities as well. So I mean, are these far reaching? You know, I can see the reason behind it, but at the same time, there's going to be sweeping consequences as well. It almost feels like we're now becoming a state sponsored or like we have the big brother, the government, you know, watching over us to make sure like, you know, and all that stuff. So I don't know how I feel about it. Just want to bring it to light so we can kind of talk about this.
Yeah. And I mean, this is where we're getting more into like businesses and what we need to promote better here in Canada of like, hey, actually benefiting business owners to not have brain drain leaving from Canada. And I mean, Canadians like have actually built tech empires, but most of us, they haven't actually done it here. You got Uber, Cloudflare, OpenAI, Anthropic, all co-funded by Canadians who went on to build their businesses in the US. I talked about this before. I spoke with a fairly highly producing company in tech, and she was on a work permit. The government, like she couldn't get funding, no business financing. Went to the US, they gave her $4 million instantly. And it's like, well, how are we not benefiting people here to actually bring stuff to Canada?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, this is kind of sheds light on how much we've missed out on because we haven't been pro business. We haven't made it easier for entrepreneurs to build business here, to flourish, high taxation, unaffordability, all that, everything that we've talked about before. And then, of course, here's another list too. We're going to throw this on the graphic here. Foreign nationals who attended Canadian universities but they went back, you know, because maybe you know, Canadian universities are highly touted. You know, it's basically these kind of companies that kind of slip through our nation's grasp. So I'll read a few of them here, like Alex said, other ones like Substack, Plenty of Fish, Lyft, and then the ones in the state, Instacart, Tesla, Moderna, Grammarly, Netscope, all these other companies. So it's kind of sad. I mean, geez, we need as Canadians, we need to promote businesses from you know, we have Shopify and then we have the banks. What else do we have for the big businesses? Not really much, right? Other than resources,
Yeah.
um, oil and gas, potash, gold and mine, silver, all that stuff. But yeah, tech is not much here. So here is something that we've want to talk about too. According to StatsCan, our population has declined for the third consecutive quarter, Q2 of 2026. Our population dropped 55,000 to 41.4 million, and we're down 235,000 from the peak in Q3 of 2025. So, you know, hey, there's no surprise here. We're actually in the negative territory. And we all know the reason behind it. It's because government has finally shut the taps on immigration. You know, they bend to the whims of the people. Now it's nothing. And then our population is dropped, which kind of shows they were relying on new immigrants to prop up our GDP, to prop up our
Oh,
productivity.
exactly. And that's where again where I mean, we talk about our birth rates, everything is really going to be is reliant on immigrants. And that's where it's like, hey, we let way too much in. There was no doubts on that, but like, why did we just slice it off like fully? It's like, maybe we taper back, maybe we do it 0.5%. Okay, you know what? That's still a little bit. Okay, we're going to go a little bit more.
It's basically like the interest rate thing. It went low and then high, and then now
Yeah.
this is the same thing with immigration. Too much, now it's off. Like, oh shoot, now we gotta turn it back on again. And I guess once enough kind of I don't know, bloodshed's
I didn't even
happened
talk about that.
across
He
the
actually put, I didn't even realize he had this in there. Canada's fertility rate reached an all time low of 1.25 per female. To paraphrase a UK analyst commenting on its 1.43 fertility rate, it won't destroy any jobs this quarter, but it will close an elementary school in 4 years, shrinks in the graduate intake in 20, and make pensions so much harder to keep solvent in 40.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a case across a lot of unaffordable regions in the world. Like, yeah, Canada, UK. I'm sure Australia is going to be up there. We don't have the graph on this, but the fact that a fertility rate low is because people just can't afford it. They just can't afford to have kids. And I don't know if that number is still right, but this is a few years ago. The cost to raise a child from birth to 18 years old was like $1 million. I'm sure that number is a lot more today.
Yeah.
You've heard that number before, right, Alex? So we shift gears here to BC. Right before the whole this announcement that Carney made, the NDP has fired the contractor that was supposed to rebuild the Massey Tunnel. We were supposed to have like an 8-lane tunnel.
Yep.
I mean, if you ask me, the bridge would have made more sense.
Yep.
I mean, hey, this has been 8 years and counting, and we still have nothing. Like,
The amount of
and
the amount of money I would just be is mind blowing.
yeah, and did they say what the reason why they fired that contractor? Was it just
I can't fully remember, but I mean, I do know. I mean, this is very similar to like the sewer treatment plant in North Vancouver. They had a company. It was from not in Canada. It's been, and I mean, it's still that sewer treatment plant's still not done. It was meant to be done in 2021, and we're talking billions of dollars.
yeah? So I mean, originally, the bridge or the tunnel was only going to cost what, 4 billion.
Yeah.
But now the BC government is asking Ottawa for 4 billion in federal funding towards this Massey Tunnel crossing. Now they've been told the costing for this 8-lane tunnel is estimated at $11 billion. That's 7.5 billion more than the original 10-lane bridge that was previously proposed, like, geez, 8 years ago, before the NDP government came in and kiboshed it. I mean, we're crapping on the bureaucracy, but this is not just in BC. I mean, in Ontario, for those of you listening out in Ontario, you guys have been waiting, what, 15 years for this highway to the Ring of Fire in Northern Ontario? 15 years and counting. So it's like there's too much bureaucracy that's getting in the way of progress. Like, we need to move things along with too much red tape and too much, like, chefs in the kitchen and such.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is just, we're talking, and NDPs were like, oh, this is too much because we don't want to do it now. And I mean, we keep doing these things that we're kicking down the road, like, oh, it's going to be cheaper. We're going to make this cheaper. We're now talking about like, it's insane. And I mean, that's even, you go to the Portman Bridge when it was built. Well, they didn't design it properly. We had to do a bunch of stuff on the cables. I actually worked on there. Instead of them just doing heat tracing, they're like, oh, we're going to throw chains down it. That's going to be cheaper. Well, that tripled in the price of them just doing the heat tracing. It was just an upfront cost they wanted to do.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see about this. We're just, here's our all the stuff about this. But you know what? Our episode's a little bit short today. Let's just wrap this thing up because it's Friday. We're recording. It's beautiful out. Alex, what do you got going on this weekend?
I mean, I don't want to keep saying it. I mean, my face is a little bit red, but I'm going to be going on the boat again, doing some surfing. Actually, maybe I'll get EJ to put. No, never mind. I don't want a picture of my son up on the podcast. Never mind. Not going to do that. All right. Well, I posted on a story if everyone wanted to saw it that way. I was surfing with my son in between my legs. He's 7. It's probably not going to happen again next year. It's pretty hard for me to get up with him. He's heavy, and so it's just trying to enjoy every minute with him that way. And I know you got a kid that's graduated, Alex, and so I'm trying to soak up all those good times.
Yeah, my youngest son, Aiden, he's grade 11. He just finished his exams today, so congratulations to him. He got a job doing a summer camp for kids, and they only hired 2 students. and he was able to land one of them. So congratulations to him. He got an award for his IB English class for being the best, like an award for IB English 11, which is amazing. And so we were, as parents there, were cheering him on, and they gave us an email, so we went. And as soon as he saw us, he knew he was going to get the award. So we're trying to hide. So that's great. My knee was injured for the last month and a half, so I've been rehabbing it. I'm actually going to go out play pickleball in the next hour.
Nice.
So got to get back out there because the weather's good, and you enjoy that. So folks, again, if you help us grow the community, please share it with one other person. Let's build this community. Let's get this to 1,000 on each platform. So on behalf of Alex Shanks, I'm Alex Pang. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Canadian Mortgage Show. We'll see you next.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure to follow us. Please give us a 5-star rating. You can even send us an email because we want to know what you guys want to hear about. That's what we're here for. Reach out anytime.